Good evening and welcome to the Monday, August 11th, 2025 City Council meeting. I want to thank all of our staff, especially our public safety staff, for a tremendously successful National Night Out. I know we had over 50 parties. You know, I had many people asking me, so how many parties are you going to tonight? And I said my goal was 7, and there were some people that thought, well, why can't you, aren't you going to try to go to all 50? And I said that would be absolutely physically impossible, but I trust that my fellow council members were out there. I ran into some of you out at the different parties, and it was a huge success. The weather was excellent this year, and our public safety staff, it was really fun to watch how engaged they were with kids and with residents, and I have to say that I think we've got some really good cooks in Maplewood. There was a lot of really good food out there, but it was a huge success, and you know, I learned really quickly that it was really good if you could get there before the fire truck did, because once the fire truck was there, or a squad car, they don't want to talk to the council members. They want to see the fire and the police officers. So it was really pretty fun. Had a good night. So, council members, let us start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk Sint, would you do the roll call for us, please?
Councilmember Juniman?
Here.
Councilmember Lee?
Present.
Councilmember Villavicencio?
Here.
Mayor Abrams?
I'm here as well.
And Councilmember Cave is not joining us tonight.
Thank you. Council members, we have some minutes to approve. Would someone like to move the July 28th workshop minutes?
We haven't approved the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I checked that off before. Thank you. Okay, council members, let's back up one. Would someone like to move the agenda, please?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve our agenda. Is there any further discussion or additions? I would like to add Tawny Weaver. We have a Maplewood member of the team of 70 recognized by the Minnesota Twins. Councilmember Villavicencio, what would you like to add?
Maplewood Park event.
Okay. Okay. I see no other lights. Then all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Now we can move on to the minutes. Would someone like to move the minutes?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Villavicencio. The motion to approve the July 28th, 2025 City Council Workshop meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have the July 28th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes. Would someone like to move that?
I move approval.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve the July 28th City Council meeting minutes. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have administrative presentations. Mr. Sable, this is yours.
Thank you, and Mayor and council members. Just want to give a forecast of some upcoming agenda items and work session schedules. So at the meeting on August 25th, we will adopt the EDA strategic plan, including a revised maple leaf logo that is not Little Canada's leaf. Just had to do some quick editing and so make some final revisions to that. But I'll say, while Community Development Director Danette Parr is not here, she's done a really masterful job of shepherding that through, and so we're really excited to see what that looks like. We will have a continuation of the 2026 budget conversation with public comment and budget workshop. And speaking with Joe Rube earlier today, there's some edits and refinements that we want to make to the page. And also next conversation will be more historical data about how the evolution of the budget has gone. So while tonight's conversation was more around process, I think the next one is going to be around framing sort of the historical context, and then we can jump forward through the rest of the year to talk about what's what's next. So that'll be kind of in 3 parts. And then just also, as you know, the September 8th will be the adoption of the preliminary levy for potentially the EDA and the city. So budget conversations will come fast and furious. And with that, I will stand for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Sable? Okay, seeing none, then council presentations. I wanted to acknowledge one of our officers, Tawny Weaver. This was from the St. Paul Pioneer Press. The Minnesota Twins has recognized a team of 70 police officers from around the state who together have issued 5,120 arrests for DUI. Tawny Weaver of the Maplewood Police Department was honored as part of this team of 70. She, during 2024, made 92 DUI enforcement arrests and earned the right to be considered part of the Twins All-Star DUI team, which I thought was really rather cool. 92 DUI arrests. That's very
awesome.
impressive. So thank you, Tawny. We really appreciate your efforts in that regard. So moving on, let's see, Councilmember Villavicencio, you're next. Parks event.
Yes, thank you. I just want to remind everybody that this week, Wednesday, we have our summer event. It's a free, we have free food, free activities, including a petting zoo, tattoos, nature trivia, yard games, lots of booths, lots of inflatables. It's from 6 to 7:30 at Edgerton Park on Wednesday night. So come join everybody. It's a lot of fun, and it's great to see everybody.
Thank you for that reminder. Council members, moving on to our consent agenda. Would someone like to make a motion concerning our consent agenda?
I move consent agenda items G1 through 4.
Second.
Moved by Juniman, seconded by Lee, the motion to approve consent agenda items G1 through 4. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. We have no public hearings tonight, no unfinished business. Moving on to new business, we have the 2026 to 2028 strategic plan. Let's see, Lois Knutson, you are going to be making that presentation.
Yes. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. This is kind of a follow-up to what we did back on June 9th. I came to the workshop that day, and we talked a little bit about the strategic priorities we had established at our retreat earlier in April. We're kind of concentrating on the priorities, and the focus areas are what we are looking for you to approve. So I'm just going to give you a little refresher on what we're talking about. This PowerPoint isn't in there. The information's all in there. I just felt like I wanted some slides up, so I had something to refer to. So as a reminder, the 3 strategic priorities we had decided on are safety, sustainability, and development. Safety we defined as enhancing community well-being through proactive systems and infrastructure. And under that, we established some focus areas. Ensure public safety and effective emergency response, foster community engagement and support resident well-being, strengthen regulations and code compliance, maintain and enhance infrastructure and environmental systems, leverage technology and manage public assets strategically, expand accessibility and mobility for all residents, invest in prevention strategies and resource readiness. The next one is sustainability, building long-term resilience and organizational strength. Focus areas are cultivate a connected, engaged community, support and develop staff and human resources, advance environmental stewardship initiatives, maintain strong financial health and stability. And the third is development, shaping a thriving, inclusive, and forward-looking community. The focus areas are promote residential development and thoughtful redevelopment, expand life cycle housing options for all demographics, grow a vibrant and resilient business community, invest in people and placemaking, and strengthen human connection and community growth. So after that workshop, the staff got busy and we had a day where we kind of went in and just said, okay, if that is our priorities, those are our focus areas, what do we envision as our performance measures? So we used the sticky wall that we put up in the Maplewood room. We printed out all of our existing measures in our current plan, laid all those out on the table, and we had departments come in one at a time and looked at their measures. What did they have? Did they want to keep it? Did they want to write something new? The ones they kept, we put on the wall. We figured out this was in our old plan. Where will it fit in our new plan? So we did that. And then we wrote up a lot of new ones. As you can see, it's a pretty even mix. Maybe 60% new ones and 40% old ones. There wasn't a lot of things we just threw out the window. We tried to get rid of a lot of them that were more like operational. We would look at it and say, well, that's just what we do. That's not really something we need to measure or a goal. It's how we do things. It's something we're going to do all the time anyway. So we came up with quite a few performance measures, and those, just for your information, are on pages 60 through 64 of your packet. So if you want to take a look at all of those, I don't have them up here. That is not really a format that translates well to being on an overhead. But so the next step after this, we're looking for council to approve the priorities and focus areas. And then after that, staff will continue building out the plan, the action initiatives, the work plans. These are our performance measures. How are we going to really make that happen and make it important and valuable to our employees?
Question, Lois. The back of our council packet has our strategic priorities. And when I go through my council packet and prepare for the council meeting, oftentimes I reference this to kind of look at how all of this fits together to make sure that we are truly achieving our strategic priorities. Mm-hmm. I hope that the back of our packet is going to say more than safety, sustainability, and development.
I guess I envision it as saying the priorities and then those underlying focus areas.
Okay, yes.
So as we're writing a report, which focus area does this fit under?
Okay, just because it does help us
Yeah.
to keep focused on what our goals are so that we can stay on task.
And then with the mechanics of how that fits on the report, we're going to have to figure out. I feel like if we're using some sort of form, there's a way to use that during doing drop downs. You could have the 3 priorities and then those would make other drop down areas fit in. So we wouldn't have to retype everything every time. But
Right.
even if we do, it's not that big a deal.
But still, it would be
Yes.
nice, I'm
Yes.
thinking ahead and how
Yeah.
it's going to help us stay focused as a council. So-
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for that. Any other questions for Lois? Mr. Sable?
Thank you, Mayor and council members. Number one, I just want to thank Lois for herding all of the cats and all of the items that came through to put this together in a comprehensible way. I would agree that I think at the back of the packet, it will include both the 2 things, the strategic priorities and the focus areas. One of the things that we will also have to do on the back end is rebuild our strategic plan dashboard so that the public can follow along and track. And so that, I know that we've already started that work and building out what that looks like. And so we will actually make that then more available to the public, sort of announcing the new strategic priorities and focus areas with the metrics and the initiatives that follow behind it. So this will really drive a lot of staff work. The last thing I'll share is that also when we do the departmental budget presentations, if you remember them from last year, we talked about how they linked to the priorities. We will also then link that in the budget presentations to be strategic priorities and focus areas. So you will, hopefully by the time we get to December, you'll be tired of hearing about the linkages to the strategic plan and the strategic priorities. But I know that the department heads have already thought about how they would frame these in that way. So the budget as I say often, the budget is a reflection of values. Values are laid out in the strategic plan. And so the conversations that we have about where to spend resources and guide the direction will be directly linked to this in a really concrete way. So,
Thank you for that. Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thanks, Lois, for providing the performance measure draft. It's really good for me to really see this. Oftentimes, I get too nitty-gritty detailed, and kind of seeing this really helps me envision how the measurement piece is going to take place. So I love the language in here. I love that it's very updated to what Maplewood is today. So thank you for putting this together. I appreciate it much.
Thank you.
Council members, we have a motion. Would someone like to make it?
I move to approve the strategic priorities and focus areas for the 2026-2028 strategic plan.
Second.
Moved by Ginnivan, seconded by Villavicencio. The motion to approve the strategic priorities and focus areas for the 2026-2028 strategic plan. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you for all the work on this. We really appreciate it.
I'm going to stay here. The next item is also mine.
You got double duty tonight.
I do.
Okay, the charitable gambling policy updates. Ms. Knudsen, this is your topic as well.
Again, Madam Mayor and Council, good evening and thank you. So last time at the workshop, we talked about our charitable gambling policy, and we got ideas from all of you of the things you wanted to change. And what is happening here is we have worked those into our policy. The major things we are changing or adding, the distribution of funds, 1/3 of the total will go to each of the 3 different categories: social supports and senior citizen services, youth programs and community engagement and events, environment and natural resources and safety programs. And then as someone fills out the application, we've added it as an application requirement. They're going to have to identify the specific funding category under which they're applying and provide their reasoning of how they feel they fit under that category. A maximum award, it was decided that no single organization shall receive more than $7,500 in funding per year. So that's been added. And then eligibility for subsequent funding. Organizations that receive funding in 1 year are eligible to apply again the following year, only under a different program category. So that'll all be worked into our application form. And those, as you can see on the red line version, all of that is under category 4, allocation and applicant eligibility. The only other thing we updated and changed was in light of the change to the lawful gambling ordinance that was approved at the last meeting. It requires this sentence that is added under section 1. The city must acknowledge financial contributions of licensed organizations conducting lawful gambling to the community and the recipients of the fund. So that's something we're going to work into our messaging, as well as have it on our website, probably in our living article, just so those places where that money is coming from need to be acknowledged, and that's part of our requirements. So that is under number 1. But otherwise, it's basically the same.
Thank you very much. One thing I'd like to, and this is not to make any changes,
Right.
but just to recognize that next year, I'd like to, for all of us to have on our agenda, an opportunity to talk about this and see how did this work? Did we like these changes, or do we need to make any further adjustments?
Exactly.
I think it's always good to do a little review after we have gone through one cycle and see if this really accomplished what we wanted it to accomplish.
Right.
So, Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for pointing that out. And I just wanted to also give a shout out to our council. I went home and really thought about it. It was a really good, robust conversation that we had around this, and I'm really excited that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for other people to get their hands on this money to help support their organization. So thank you, council. That was a good conversation.
It was. Any other discussion?
I think one thing just to keep in mind is now we need to promote it. We need to get the word out there
Yeah.
that we have a different plan. We're not doing the staggered things anymore. And I have my email list, but we're going to do something in the living. I think our intent is to have some sort of table or informational booth at the Friday fireworks so that all of that is out there and try to get probably social media as well just to get it out there.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll probably also send it to Faith Communities in case.
Oh, that would be
Because then
good.
you can get
Sure.
that word to whoever they're connected with.
You bet. Great idea. No other questions? There is a motion. Would someone like to make it?
Motion to approve the changes to the City of Maplewood's charitable gambling policies.
Second.
Moved by Lee, seconded by Juniman, the motion to approve the changes to the City of Maplewood's charitable gambling policies. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And council members, we have concluded the business of the city tonight. In record time, I think. Pretty early. All right. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you, staff, for all your work. And thank you, council members.